You know, leave it to the man who created Evangelion to make something very interesting such as this. Let's see how it goes. Welcome to another episode of the Brumakian podcast, a review series where I can review anything but not everything. That includes monster movies, both big and small, anime, and video games. I'm Demetrius, and this is my review of Shin Godzilla. How did this film came to be? Well, it was December of 2014, and Toho announced that they will be creating a new Godzilla film again, scheduled for a 2016 release. They claimed that it was good timing after the success of G2K14, and they had no restrictions on creating domestic versions. I'm not sure if it was good timing considering G2K14 was barely promoted in Japan, but whatever. Anyhow, the film would have no ties with Legendary's film, and it would serve as the reboot to the series. Minami Ichikawa served as the film's producer-manager, and Taiji, how you say this one, Ueda, yes, as the film's project leader. But there was only one problem. Who the hell will be the director and special effects director? Well, there were two that Toho had in mind. First is director Hideaki Anno. Anno is well known for his noble animated works like Gunbuster and Nadia, but the most famous of them all, Neon Genesis Evangelion. Next is a name that you all are probably familiar with, Shinji Higuchi, who not only collaborated with Anno on Evangelion, but was also the special effects director for the late 90s Gamera trilogy. Truly a match made in heaven. Turns out, it almost didn't happen. Hideaki Anno was actually approached by Toho in making a new Godzilla film just in case the new American version sucked and failed. Turns out it didn't. But this is what the man had to say in an interview. A representative from Toho contacted me directly saying, "We'd like to direct a new Godzilla film." At the time, I was still recovering from Eva 3.0 and right on the spot flatly refused the offer. It's impossible. Even to begin work on the next Eva is impossible. You see, Anno fell into depression after completing Evangelion 3.0 You Cannot Redo. After making that film, he had declined due to a lack of confidence. I refused the offer since I didn't have confidence that I could exceed the first film or come close to equaling it, but I thought that if I were to come even a little, I would have to do the same thing as the first film. But thanks to Higuchi, whom Anno was a longtime friend with, he came around and accepted the offer. Now, unlike the previous Godzilla films, where it traditionally used a man in a suit, this time it was going to be all CG. At first, people thought it would be a man in a suit, but no, it's full CG. But it would still have elements of practical effects. Filming began on September 1st, 2015 and ended in October of the same year. Many animation studios in Japan were hired to work on the effects. As for the music, Shiro Sakusu handled it. The end result was Shin Godzilla, released in Japan on July 29, 2016, and in the US via Funimation, a dub company based in Texas that is now part of Crunchyroll, on October 11, 2016. And here is its plot synopsis according to Google. Japan is plunged into chaos when an enormous monster emerges from Tokyo Bay and terrorizes the city, leaving a path of destruction and casualties. Now for my thoughts. I must say, it is a very unique take on the king, but like anything, it is not perfect. I like that we get to see what the government would be like if a giant monster like Godzilla would appear, and how at first the government is full of incompetent idiots who can't even step outside to take a look for themselves at how bad the situation is. There is a slow part in the middle after that scene. You know what scene I'm talking about. I mean, hell, you've seen it in the thumbnail, but it does pick up towards the end. The characters are, unfortunately, one-dimensional, but every now and then they crack under pressure, which I like, and unfortunately not one person stands out. Godzilla looks like a shriveled up freak of nature in all forms, and I like it, although I wish it could show more emotion in its body movement. The visual effects are good, not amazing. There are some shots that didn't age well and looked rough. I mean, ugh. But there are some practical effects, as I said, present here. And how do I know that? I looked up the behind the scenes footage. The sound design kind of threw me off guard. Using old sound effects is fine, but most of it is in mono rather than stereo. The music is really good. Persecution of the Masses, Black Angels, Father_01, and Who Will Know are my favorites. And I do like the use of old music from the Showa era and Heisei era. Also, nice of them to use the beats from Evangelion. You know the one I'm talking about, the one that I played during the break. Shin Godzilla overall is a good film. Again, the things that I mentioned kind of hinder my enjoyment, but not too much. I think I had to be in a very specific mood in order to watch this film. It's not for everyone, sure, but hey, at least it does have a place in Godzilla's history. Now, you might be thinking the next thing to do is to watch the anime trilogy, right? Hell no, we're taking a detour to the independent scene with one single movie. Until then, this has been Demetrius signing off. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves, and have a good day.